RPC has a connection with that kind of stuff. If they knew of them, they would include them with.
Okay.
I don't know of others that are included in that.
Still at half of what we were originally expecting.
Right. So if you are interested, we will pursue it. And it will be, they will cover the rest of this budget year, and then we would put it into the next budget year. If not, we can also look at the capital projects fund and pull a little money out of that, because I think this is important enough that would play into what that fund is for.
Yeah.
And we're certain that the 1997 one is outdated.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I think you heard a yes.
Yeah, I think so. So, all right, we're going to move forward with that, and I'll talk to Jeremy and get some more details, and then work out a contract that will come back to you all.
I used to have one.
All right, policies, or policy-orama. You had asked for some updates, and I've included the actual email that I got from Casey Gagg at Lakenan. And that's what you have in the front part, kind of outlining what we should do with our personnel policy and some of the changes that we need to make in the language.
I love it. It's bringing us up to date, especially with that first paragraph. I'm all for it.
Right, so there's those issues that we want to include. We also have the other pages that had like diversity policy, anti-harassment policy that we can include in there, equal employment opportunity. So we also had come to us, is like on the use of equipment and vehicles. So right now, you can't use them for personal purposes, but should we make it where you can't take them home? I don't take my vehicle home. I drive my own car. We don't really have that many that do take them home after hours. If that's something that you'd like to include in that has been brought to me as something to consider.
Would we be allowed to exclude police vehicles?
It's already in there.
Oh, is it? I didn't know.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's a safe way to go unless it's authorized to take it home.
I agree with you.
Do we have many employees that get called out on emergencies
Police.
that would, other than.
I'd say Gary.
Except Gary. Yeah.
Gary uses
Gary's,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, so this would not include Gary?
It would not include him. We looked at what we had under, or what I looked under what we had as an exception already, and the police had that in their standard operating procedure, but we don't have it with anything else.
Could we make him a deputy?
Well, I mean, you can include him as, except for public work, or except for police vehicles and the public works director.
I think it's good.
I think we should do
I
that.
agree. Yeah, he needs to have a vehicle.
I agree.
That's good.
Good point.
And for military leave, it is just we're adding in the second paragraph, second line where it has, and shorter absences, we want to put per calendar year, because we've had some questions as to how often can I take that time, and we need to establish a period of time that you can take it, so it's not like, well, we'll take, 15 days here, 15 days here, and we aren't regulating. So if we put per calendar year, we can say it's like a rolling year, you can only do the 15 days in that year.
Perfect.
Yes?
Kathy, one thing back on this personal vehicle thing, and I haven't kept up with it, but a while back there was different laws the IRS had as far as claiming that as income. I mean, is that still? Yeah, you had to report those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For company vehicles.
Yeah, you had to report those miles back and forth, if you took it home. And then two, the liability of insurance, we need to make sure that they're covered, taking them from their point of work and stuff also.
Right, so then that would be in our general insurance that would cover that, because we already do that with the police. So it's already within our insurance policy.
Right.
As for claiming that, I know you do it if you get paid for it, if you get a stipend instead of driving the vehicle. And again, there's also in the IRS code the de minimis part of it. And it may be de minimis if it's within the city, because you're not driving that much distance, so it would not be that much of a benefit. But that would be up to the individual, because I am not working for the IRS, and it would be up to them if there was an issue.
I just know it was kind of back and forth there for years. You had to report it, then you didn't have to report it, and it was just,
Yeah, I would leave that with their tax preparer.
I don't know if this would fit in, I guess this would fit in under, the use of the equipment and vehicles. Yeah, you come up before in some other discussions about, like smoking in the vehicles and the care of the vehicles and things like that.
Separate section,
Separate section?
yeah, it's in there. You can't smoke in vehicles, can't smoke in the buildings.
Okay,
So I've confirmed that.
okay.
David, do you have something?
I did. It's not related to these particular policies, but I didn't know, since we're talking about personnel policy, if it could be considered, when we have a parent, grandparent, whatever, pass away, we get time off, but step-parents aren't included in that, and my personal opinion is they should be.
I would agree on that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Parents are parents,
Yeah,
I
you're,
think.
you're right. We had that issue come up.
And sometimes, would you go as far as even saying guardians, David?
I would say foster, step.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna cover, I think it's a great idea.
For my previous life.
I would even,
all those
I don't know if you
things.
guys agree or not, but I think anyone who's the child minder or the parents, the guardians,
Agree.
Yeah.
We'll bring that to you then. We can expand that. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I'd forgotten about that issue.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next page, let's see, we're getting into our accounting policies. Some of these were requested, or actually all these were requested by our auditors. So we had the wire transfer language in there, but we've expanded on how that's done. What you're looking for is checks and balances. How do we do wire transfers? I mean, if we get a wire transfer to us, it comes into our account, no big deal. It's when we're transferring out. So when the mayor sends an email to me saying, please transfer $15,000 to my home bank account, we don't just do that.
Why not?
is this thing on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like the new Maserati.
And we've also had some issues, especially with the cold weather, with water bill adjustments, water bill issues. There is nothing inside the code that is an appeal process, so it's up to me to make those decisions. And if I do make a decision, or if we do waive something small, we need to, again, have a checks and balances. So we have one section for major water bills, or water bill issue, and then one for a small water bill issue, where somebody's got a late fee, and they were late, there's a good reason, they've never had a late fee before. Take it to either the city clerk or the city treasurer and say, hey, can we waive this? It's up to them to make that decision. You don't have to, the person at the window doesn't have to feel like they have to make that decision. We can make them responsible for it, but again, it's that checks and balances. If they take it to the other person, it's like they're thinking, yeah, there may be a reason to do this, and then the other person can confirm it or not, and say, no, I've heard, some other issue, some other problem, that, and they've had this kind of issue before, and when they lived here, this was a problem, so we don't do that. So anyway,
Good.
those are what we're looking to adopt for that, and then an anti-fraud policy, also from our auditors. It is what it is. It's just trying to do a checks and balances and keep track of what goes on in the city financially, and that we don't have anybody stealing money and embezzling. It's a lot, but I wanted to get these to you since we're looking at trying to adopt and get these policies changed. Any questions?
No, but thank you. Good stuff.
Okay, finally is board meeting packets. So I got a nasty gram, I got an email from Gary Smith about, Alderman Smith kindly requested, or asked about sending out packets earlier, because, for more,
Never a nasty
Time to
gram,
study.
ever. Sometimes my emails and texts may be a little curt, but I never mean anything but love. Love you all. And I think it's a good idea. Would you guys like to get your packets on Mondays instead of Tuesdays?
Yes.
Because sometimes when I get my packet at, and I know, and it's wonderful, you guys do a great job. I just think another day would be useful for me to digest it, because our schedules are nuts. I know that puts more burden on them, and I'm sorry, Pam, I really am. But it would be more, I think we'd be doing our job and our due diligence.
So the only problem with Mondays is that it's busy because of the weekend. So it will put a little more burden on us, but we'll start preparing probably on the Thursday before. And depending upon how it works out with people submitting stuff, we may have some stuff delayed a little, for the next meeting because we couldn't get it in on time. If there's an emergency, we'll still do it within 24 hours and just send an amended agenda if we feel like it fits. Technically, 24 hours is all you have to have. But if you feel like you need 72, if half of this board walked in here and opened their packets the night of the meeting, I would say no. You guys actually study your packets. I appreciate that. Because I've been on councils and boards, they just came in that night, opened it up, and just started, asking questions and passing stuff. So we'll do what we can if you feel that's important. That's part of our job, is to make sure you feel like you have enough information and in enough time to look at it and digest it, so you understand it.
I agree with Gary, it would be helpful, but not the end of the world if it doesn't, but it would be helpful and stuff. But
The only problem I would see with it is that there'd be stuff that doesn't get to you, and then there's gonna be a delay. I guess you'd have to email that later on.
But we could get that in there in a certain amount of time, or window, right?
Yeah, but
Are Mondays exceptionally difficult?
Some are.
So this past Monday, we had somebody call out, and we had somebody on vacation,
And you have no time to prepare for that.
and it would have been difficult.
Because I'm helping out with the other
Yeah.
stuff and.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was.
But Mondays would be a good night if I had to stay late. Mondays would be a good night for me to stay late. I can say that.
Well, how about,
You also have a lot of holidays on Mondays.
And that will come into play. This year, it's kind of an odd schedule, so you may get the packet on Friday.
so if we say we'd like to have it on Monday, but if Monday's a holiday, I mean, can't we just say, okay, we'll get it?
If we can't have it on
Tuesday
Monday, can we
then,
get it Tuesday morning?
Yeah, or
I know Tuesday afternoon, because, I mean, I'm being selfish, but I know my schedule is nuts and I love it. I love a busy schedule. But I also I feel it's my responsibility to read this stuff. And I also share it with 32 people in the community that are my advisory board. And I do, I'm not gonna lie to you. And they help me, and they're like, holy shit, I need more time.
I think that's the way you're supposed to do it, the way you do it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So I would like more time. But I'm not gonna, and I didn't send a nastygram.
I don't know.
No, I can
That's
just,
debatable.
just for me,
Let me see what it said exactly.
exactly.
There's a smiley face at the bottom.
It was. You did send a picture later, but you're smiling.
maybe we'll have 3 and 4 city administrator report updates then.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna have to have that.
now.
Send one every day.
That's what my point is.
How does that,
Two?
I guess mail-wise, some of you guys who there.
Nope, I don't anymore. I only do mine electronically.
It's delivery.
Delivery, okay.
Yeah.
So then there's no issue there.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't cause any inconvenience to the public that's already doing our schedule, I mean,
Agreed.
for the most part, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, but there will be issues where it is a problem. Well, then we just have to deal with that.
Right.
But for the most part, I think they can, I don't have a problem either way.
Well, and for me, my concern is the city staff being, particularly Pam, being able to do what she needs to do to help the public, whatever
Pam's
concerns
awesome.
there. Making sure that public matters get tended to first.
Right.
Then,
Well, you gotta remember all that come evaluation time, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we try it for a month and then see how it goes? And if it's a struggle, then we reconsider?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
do it.
We can test drive it.
April's,
Yeah.
because election day's on Tuesday, and then we have our meeting that Thursday, and City Hall's closed on that Tuesday.
All right, well,
But
that's not
we'll
gonna
get it, we'll get it. I mean,
Would you normally do it on that Monday? I don't recall.
I we usually start working on stuff the Friday before.
Yeah.
Just as long as the other staff knows that they need to get the stuff to us so we can prepare the ordinances and the bills in time.
Well, if you can get them out on Monday,
Gentlemen.
great. If not,
Yes, so get on the stick, and by the way, nothing but love for you. This is not a reflection, no matter what Happy said.
It is nice to have the weekend with the work session though. I
No
mean,
wonder my
that's
tires are
really
slashed.
Yeah, but that usually includes a lot more material you have to read through and
Yeah.
and try to digest. So, yeah, we can do this. I don't want to just say, let's, maybe do it. We either do it or we don't. We'll do it, and keep doing it as long as you feel like you're getting the information you need. And we can do
Well,
it.
give it a trial run and see what the staff says.
Yeah.
And if
You
you
know.
have any issues with it, Pam, just let us know.
Well, call Gary.
I have good backup.
Yeah.
Call Gary,
Yeah.
yeah. Send Gary an email.
An
So it's
email,
like
a
that.
phone call, voicemail, everything.
Like that, huh, Happy? All right.
Exactly.
Gary gets it. Is there anything else?
No, I think we should come out of.
Happy, you gonna close the meeting? Is it over with now?
We're done, adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.